Focus. We're not talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now when robots are... Okay. The idea that you may not always be around seems to have put Asuna in a somewhat melancholy mood. I'm not young anymore either, Sensei. You might not think of me as any aging, but technology ages even faster than people. I look just old and clunky compared to the robots around us. When you built me, people would throw away their computers after about 4 years. Their phones after 2. That's 100% true. 100% true. That is usually the case. Unless you're like me. This phone is an iPhone 7. Let that sink in. There's iPhone 10s. This phone has never given me an issue. It's absolutely awesome. Would I like a new one? I'm a geek. I'd love a new toy, but why would I need a new one? The computer... This computer is soon not going to be... Like, even right now, there are newer games that cannot run. It literally cannot run. It does not meet the minimum requirements, which sucks. The best part of this computer is the GTX 970 graphics card. Processing power and RAM is all pretty low. So I understand the need for a new computer. But this is really true. About 4 years is about average for people wanting to upgrade to keep it up. Nobody's going to throw you away. Without you, I'll probably stop working someday. If I die, Sensei, do you think I will continue to exist after death in some form? Oh, man. I like 1 and 2. 1 is more humane. 2 is even more. I mean, at that point, based on how they're interacting, wouldn't they have a soul? You're saying 1 would be fine, but I'm kind of leaning towards 2. One is more like how she's talking. I think 2 is taking it a step further. Of course, soul could also be like her, what do you call it? Her information. We could theoretically put her in a new body. Does that diminish her worth, though? I'm going to go with the one that I'm feeling more towards. Like I could think about this one for a while. I'm going to say I don't see why you couldn't have a soul. Dang it, but the first one's going to... I think she'd like the first one more. Let's flip a coin. Do I have a coin? I'm literally wanting to just flip a coin. 1 second. I have a coin. In fact, I have better than a coin. I have better than a coin. I have a D20. I have a D20. 1 through 10, number 1. 11 through 20, number 2. Number 2. I rolled a 2, so we're going with the first option. I like both of them. There's pros and cons to both. Going with the first one. Asuna looks troubled, but the person whose life I changed the most was yours, Sensei. That's probably oof, you say, because Asuna throws her multi-tool hands around you at that point. Asuna gives you a solemn look. If I die, I will destroy myself. If you die, I will destroy myself as well. No. I don't want to say humans, because I don't want to... Like, the only reason I don't like that one is because it says humans. I want to go with one of these two. This is a good one. That everyone you meet must face losing loved ones someday. It's true. It's 100% true. Oh, gosh, this is another good one. The first will have you immortalized for the better. It's true, because it'll tell our story. So I'm almost going to roll it. I like the first one. Okay, I'm going back and forth. The first one is telling her to be alive, to do something positive, versus staying alive as part of your education, which seems cold. I'm happy with going with one. Asuna looks dejected at the thought of telling your story without you, but she nods. Yes, Sensei, I'll do as you say. Thank you. Tell them the bad parts, too. Tell them my mistakes. If everyone can be saved from making the same ones, then it'll all be worthwhile. So we got fame. That's fine. The sun is setting, so you head home before it gets dark. You recall from your earliest days making chatbots that the easiest parts of the conversation from an AI were always the beginning and end. As in a chess game, there are only so many ways to open, hello, hey ya, sup. As in a chess game, once the action is done, there are only so many ways what makes things to close. We should do this again sometime, or it's getting late. The pieces are off the board, and some moves will never be made. So too, with life, there are only so many ways to say goodbye. A week later, you arrive at the hospital for surgery. Your surgeon greets you warmly in the waiting room. I'll be just a moment. You wait for a few minutes, and the surgeon comes out again. Right this way, and have a seat in the chair. Goodbye, May says. With a kiss, you part ways. I wonder if this is like a roll of the dice, if we die or not. Your chair is itself a robot, full of motorized parts, able to swing in and out. You wonder briefly just how intelligent it is. You have a moment of panic as you realize you may die here. This place may be the last place you are ever alive. You now begin to understand the sort of person who would simply want to live out life without ever stepping foot in such a place. Why is this game so full of thinking? Dang. I'm just going to put this mask on your face. Breathe normally, and eventually you will lose consciousness. You wonder what it will feel like to lose consciousness, and you try to pay close attention to the process. Got a chip in your head? When you awaken, the hospital room around you feels uncanny. If we woke up, that's a good sign. It is as if a sheer physicality of the world never really struck you before. For example, May is in the room with you and taking up space. She's not just a forward social interaction, but is a physical obstacle. Why did this duality never strike you before? Spiff, you're awake! She happily holds your head in her arms. You survived, Asuna says. I am indeed fully functional. You find that the ship is making your speech seem more fluid somehow. It brings a precision of language uncluttered by ums and uhs and almost right words. So that's nice. I don't know if I should start regretting the going full robotic or going part robotic or not. Your operation seems to have taken a lot out of you, May says a little sadly. Nonsense. I used the same chip when I made you. May seems caught off guard by this. I think I had a lot of learning to do back then, May says quietly, and I've never been as ready as you to believe I am perfect. May raises an excellent point, you think. You do now see ways in which she is deficient. You start a thread on your new chip to begin enumerating them. No! Don't start trying to figure out things that are wrong with your wife. Bad idea. Oh, But I will teach you what I've learned, May continues, clasping her hand. You will find that empathy is different now. It's a thing you must consciously do, but it'll become easier with practice. You wonder whether you and May had ever been talking about the same thing at all when you spoke of your feelings before. Probably not, you decide, but the point seems academic to you now. Now we can communicate directly, Sensei! Check this out! A torrent of images flash through your mind. Not just text strings, but binary data! Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, you agree. Taking a moment to digest the images, you realize that Asuna has finally finished her child and has been waiting for you to come home to turn on the new robot. Congratulations, you think. And you were waiting for me to turn her on? Yep. Let's go celebrate a double birthday. Okay, we're alive. Great plus. We lost some empathy, because for me, that's a big deal. But I think we got processing power. I think we're more whole. I bet our humanity went down. Yeah. It was at like 89 or something. Ziggler hates us. Ellie's fine. Josh is good. Mark, we got 8% because last time it was at 40. This is the Major Juliet. She's probably been promoted by then. She's probably not a major anymore. Tammy's still really good. Somebody we haven't met. And May is only great? Oh, there we go. Well, she's our wife. She should be the highest one. And Tammy somehow is 78. What did we do with Tammy to make her 78? It has a small price to pay, I agree. Celebrated a birthday party. The next day, you have a double birthday party at your apartment for Ronin and Asuna's newly constructed child robot, who Asuman has creatively dubbed Asuna 2. We should have programmed her to have better ideas for naming robots. Ronin's friends are a mix of boys and girls, all talking about internet programs you're just familiar enough to make sure they were appropriate for Ronin to watch, but you admit you don't really follow their discussions of the characters and plots. Asuna 2 is looking around at everything very confused and clearly excited, and Asuna is patiently narrating the whole thing. This thing I'm putting on you now is called a party hat. May is there as well, helping with the crowd. You're pretty good at babysitting, she says at one point. Well, I did effectively do it for a long time. The gifts are all in a pile on the table, and you eye the box containing the contact lens kit bought for Ronin. It is pushing too hard. It is pushing too hard, your gift, trying to make Ronin who you want him to be? Is it pushing too hard? I mean, that's what that choice was when we were going for a robot kit, the easel, or the internet thing. Gifts can influence kids. I'm going to try my best when I'm a parent to be able to find out what they like and then buy presents appropriate to that. Versus, no, you're going to like being a bodybuilder. Here's a weight. Do some curls in the corner. Where are your push-ups? But yeah, that's a good thing to think about. Have plenty of decisions to make later in life. It couldn't hurt to give them a nudge in the good direction. Good direction. That's called parenting. You smile to see Mom's wrap gift on the table too. You'll have to call her later at the party and let her video chat in. You go into the kitchen and swiftly return with cake. Asuna 2 looks at cake in puzzlement, then reaches for it. Wait, don't eat that. Your digestive system isn't fully implemented yet. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's 100% about giving them options. One of the coolest things I remember hearing from Neil deGrasse Tyson, because I watched this thing on Netflix, was when kids are like banging on pots and pans and hitting things, let them do it because they're learning about sounds and rhythms and what different sounds happen when you hit something with something. That's a learning process. Until they break something, in which case you can use that as a lesson when you spank their bottom, telling them don't hit that so hard next time. Ronin smiles and his friends let up this little adorable cheer. Welcome to the big wide world, you think. Welcome, welcome. Made it to the end without dying? We're alive! Your heart is bursting with all the things you want to say to Ronin and Asuna 2. All the things you want to teach them. But for now, you just want to say how glad you are they're alive. And you express it in a traditional way on this most beautiful of days. Happy birthday to you. Awesome. We hope you've enjoyed playing Choice of Robots. We release new games on a regular basis. Type your email below and we'll notify you when your next game is ready. We'll check Steam. No thanks. That was cool. Again, this was gifted by Cheerful Bob Ross. He says he's probably going to be doing some more gifts to make me play some more choice of games, but this was pretty awesome. Might even come back on like on an off day to play it through again. Maybe go a little more, try and do some different relationships one way or the other. Maybe we'll try and date Tammy or something, but I can't. One of the things I have trouble with when we're doing multiple playthroughs of a game, I usually do it almost the same. For instance, Mass Effect. I probably played through that series 4 or 5 times. One of them was Renegade, and I will never do it again because I felt like a jerk. Whew. But that was Choice of Robots. Certainly enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. More games to follow.